Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Purple Mango. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Joe. 1 second. I'm running a little slow this morning. Let me send these links out. That would be cool. Market's open, by the way. The only thing you need to draw is your gap fib, which that's fucking crazy how it lines up with that level. I'm actually impressed it lines up with that. 1 second. I need to send the link out. If you guys haven't already, be sure to drop a like on the stream, share the stream link around. Good morning. Feel free to let me know what's been going on this last weekend. We do have a little bit of a gap down this morning into the 690s. Why can't I find... There we are. Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric already fucking beat me to it. I'm going to do an ad here with it. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Stream link. Yeah, I'm running a little slow this morning. I need to not do that. VIP lifetime. All right, we're good to go. Roll out. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I'm letting everybody join the chat, seeing how everybody's doing. This morning we've seen a gap down, but as you guys have already noticed from my chat, it's really not game over until we're really under this area for larger moves on the bigger time frames and the smaller time frames, not just one red candle to appear. And you can see how well this was broken, well defended, well held. We even got the continuation at the very end of last week. To start the week off, though, we are starting a little bit lower. Pretty much we just started here. That's all we've done so far. So right now we're kind of looking to see, can we hold this? Can we get over this? Because this is kind of the middle point of previous day. It's also the middle point of the gap down. So kind of got an important area below. And then you have a tiny, like, not even joking, it's a 10-cent range. Yeah, this 10-cent range right here is pretty important. That's the previous day control point, as well as the gap down at 50%. So pretty important area there. Only thing above us that really matters target-wise are 697s and 700s outside of your previous day close and then your previous day high supply, which is actually about right there, 695. So we got a couple levels to deal with. You could also just mark your PDH. So this should be like the max of what your chart looks like right here. Kind of giving, if we hold this, moving up to the upside, you got tons of levels there. We end up rejecting this, probably breaking down into this, maybe even breaking down towards 687s. Which I do need to throw another level on underneath. I was honestly just trying to get out some super simple levels this morning. But I kind of got that done and out of the way, so now I can add a couple levels to the bottom now. Which I might just throw on emerging candles, to be honest with you. There's a 50% there. 50% there. Actually, you might not need to draw a single damn thing. There are 50% levels everywhere. Never mind, just kidding. They are literally everywhere. But good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning. Oh, let me switch my monitor over. Good Morgan. Good morning. What's up, Marco Watchers? How y'all feeling? Good morning to you, Dwayne. Good morning, Garden. Good morning, Dad and Jay. Good morning to all of you. Real quick, let me switch my screens. I always forget to do this on Monday. It's because one of my screens is for like more of a casual view, and the other one's like I'm just using it 100%. All right. Sorry about that. Today is January 12th. Yes. Good Morgan. Right now I'm typing in my channel real quick. $689.70 to $692.34 is the current range. PDCP / gap 50%. Very important upside while top of old all-time high supply. 689.70. All right, sorry, I stopped being in my chat. I had to make sure that I made those levels make sense. As you say in Dutch, good morgen. Okay, that's where you got it from. I was like, where the hell did you get that from? That's from Tobias. I was like, that's either German or Dutch or something. Aloha, SF. Good morning. Morning, Gap. Yes, sir, Matty Ice. Oh, morning, Pap. My bad. I thought that said Gap. I said, yeah, there is a morning gap. Potential buying over. Here, let me go to the 1 minute now. Potential buying over the previous day control point and the gap down 50%, by the way. Very important. I'll leave it like that for a bit. That actually looks pretty good. Also, tech sectors real quick. You can see tech is getting bought. Remember, guys, it actually amazes me how many people in our server will hear me go over this and then still be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm stupid without you, Bueller. But it is insane how easy this area has helped us, right? At any time we've been breaking below it, guess what the market's been doing? Dumping. Guess what this chart does when it's pumping? The market's pumping. So it's pretty insane how this one chart has such pull and push on our decision making on not just SPY. It blows my mind when people say, well, he only uses that for SPY. My brother in Christ, that's better than using triple Q. It's way better than triple Q because this is a mix of bullshit. While this right here, this is pure blood tech. Right? When you're looking at XLK, you're looking at the sector of the market. Look at that. It's almost 34% of the market. You're a fool for not looking at it. If this is your first time hearing this, I'm glad you've heard it. If this is your 100th time hearing this and you've still not been using XLK for direction, and you're still like, well, why am I struggling? This is 90% why. Because you don't give a fuck about your sectors. You don't actually care about what actually moves SPY. So make sure you guys are looking at your sectors. You're making sense of things. Not just tech, too. I always get on to you guys for tech, but that's just the start. You got banks, you got discretionary, you got comms, you got healthcare, you got staples, and you can't sit there and say, well, that's too many things to memorize. And then you got to remember all the weights inside of each one. It's really not. It's really not. If my dumbass can remember at least 5 stocks per sector, and sometimes it's even more than that, you should be at least remembering 2 to 3. If my P brain can remember that many, yours can remember that many as well. And it's not like you're going to get it overnight. You need to be going through this every morning, every week, and kind of just understanding, okay, this is what this is what that is. Okay, that's moving this, is moving that. And then take your risk. Don't jump into this market and go, oh, XOK had a single green candle. Let me buy calls. Because right now, tech is pumping, and SPY is doing what? How many of you can explain to me exactly what's going on SPY? Some of you are probably just waiting, right? But in reality, this is trying to push over a bullish area. So if this was to continue, this should continue, right? But what is the third factor in that? Can you guys tell me that? The third factor in all of that, what is that? The third final say-so. I'm kind of highlighting over here on the left, but what else can help us indicate that SPY and tech will continue up? Can anybody tell me how? Or tell me what? I can't read that, Tobias. That's a lot. I don't even speak my own language correctly, brother. Me being like, that's quite something to remember. Meanwhile, checking 200 to 300 individual stocks. Options, my brother, that doesn't answer anything I just said. Discretionary, you got part of it. Come on, someone get it. It's right here on my screen. I've been highlighting it with said mouse. Oh, wait, y'all can't see my physical mouse, but you can see what's highlighting. Options. Come on, man. Focus. Focus, guys. Focus. What else can tell us that these are true, that these are telling us the truth? Come on. We go over this every week. Someone get this. I do not want to give this to y'all. Come on. Everybody's like, how are you making money? How are you doing this? Come on, learn. What are we making? Main sectors of SPY. Thank you, Bob Johnson. Somebody give that man an award. The main sectors of SPY. Guarded, you were right there. Right? If I'm just checking this and I'm just checking this, that would be stupid, right? To just say, oh, SPY is going up because tech's going up. Let me buy calls. Right? But what is happening to the other sectors? They are not going up. Right? So we need other sector support. Right? I don't mean literally all 5 of these need to go green right here, right now. They all need to start pumping to help tech. No. But at least one of them would help. I think we could all agree that, right? Banks are trying. We could say that. Banks are trying. They started off a lot lower than the rest of these. Actually, every sector started lower, but that one started pretty bad, percentage-wise. So we need sector help, right? So when you go look at SPY right now and you're like, huh, now I see why this isn't just straight up pump. Like, you can see this is going up straight up right now. But there was this moment of like, why isn't it just going straight up? Why is there this in between red at all? Right? We just saw tech not have it. Tech just shot straight up on the 1 minute. So why did that happen on SPY? As you can see, there is a little bit of pacing difference there. Tech feels like it did just shoot up, fill its gap already. What did SPY do? Kind of just shot up and got past the halfway point, looking good to fill the gap potentially. Right? So it's still got a little bit of room. What can confirm that little bit of room getting filled? These also filling their room, right? These all have gap downs. Actually, this one looks like complete. Oh, it's healthcare. Fair enough. Yeah, so make sure you guys are paying attention to your sectors. I go over this every week in stream. Bob Johnson, you have received the Bob Johnson Award. Bob Johnson 1670, you have received the Bob Johnson 1670 Award. But yeah, so make sure you guys understand that next time I ask that. I do a lot of repeat questions in here. It's mainly for muscle memory. So if you're like, oh wait, I've heard him say that. You guys like Dora the Explorer. Backpack! Backpack! You're like fucking screaming at the TV. Backpack, you dumbass! It's the same thing on here. Banks! Discretionary! Tech! About time, LOL. You've been waiting this long for your own award? That's funny. Morning, Ace. Morning. Good to see you, dude. Hopefully you're having a stellar week. Or stellar start to the week. Good morning. Hopefully you all had a decent break this weekend. It is good to be back. Last week we ended sorry, I just kind of like brain farted for a second. Last week I'm kind of impressed that we ended the week with 2 out of 2 on the swings. Thank you guys again for all those reactions in the channel. I thought that was super fucking cool. I was like, man, I don't know the last time I've seen over 10 reactions on a single post on my channel, because most people in my channel are a little older. They don't give a shit about that. I don't blame them. They're like, just give me the damn swing. I don't care about clicking on it. So that was very cool. A lot of cool leadership in the channels last week. I saw tons of swings, honestly, that weren't even posted by me. Speaking of one, Kevo posted a bunch of gold. There's a bunch of SPY plays last week. Oh, there he is in chat, actually. Seth, thank you, man. Every time I listen to stream, I'm just continually impressed at your ability to get focused on the important. That's funny. Yeah, I read that right after I just brain farted. But yes, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Seriously. One of the few people that's been in here since like almost the beginning of time. Actually, he might have been. Yeah, August 16th, 2019. That's pretty fucking long. What is that? Dude, that's pushing. That's over 6 years, pushing to 7 this August. That's crazy. Someone in my chat has been in here over 6 years, going to 7. That is fucking crazy to say out loud. Ace is here, day made. Oh, that means Ace is here. We're all screwed. All right, make sure you guys are in the YouTube chat also updating some of your favorite weights. Now, whether that's updating the entire sector of weights itself, that's cool. If you're over there just looking at Tesla, that's also cool. So feel free to update whatever top weights you guys want. I would love to see some of you guys practice saying, oh, Tesla, it's discretionary. Oh, Amazon, it's discretionary. Oh, Microsoft, it's tech. JPM, that's a bank. And remember, this week, the banks start their earnings. And as you guys have probably already learned over the past almost 7 years in this server, banks start earnings season. So, yeah, this week's probably not that crazy, but it will start getting crazy very soon with all the earnings coming up on large tech weights. I believe Apple's one of the first ones at the beginning or at the end of this month. So be ready for tech earnings and all that stuff. Not just tech earnings, but the entire market's earnings. So that'll be fun. That's on the horizon. What else is this week? There's a bunch of... I posted it in the weekly news. There's honestly a shit ton of data and speakers this week. But genuinely, it's probably because of the news last week, though. With the whole, Trump versus the Fed thing going on right now. That's another wrench in the chain, really. So we'll see how that plays out. But honestly, I don't care about it all. It is nice to at least be aware that it is going on. So if you guys see some crazy gaps that have nothing to do with earnings this week, I'm going to assume that it's federal versus Trump news. Just off default until I see something. But let's see though, guys. I honestly kind of like this pullback. If we start getting a bounce in these sectors, this should be getting a bounce and we can start buying some longs, which I have the chain open as well. If we do see the hold of 692.20, 692.30s, I like the 693 or 694 same days for calls. But honestly, I like the 693s 1,000 times more. They're under 100, not pricey. They're liquid. 693 same day for longs here. Can kind of use that 692.20s for shorts. I mean, for stopping out, but also for shorts. If you see a breakdown under that and like a retest down, we can go short. If we like it right here, we can go long. That's why I'm pointing out both scenarios. If we do end up seeing that downside scenario, just to be fair to my sell side traders, the 692 is probably going to be the contract you're looking at right now. But yeah, that one was like 93, 94 for the 693 same day for long. We'll see though. And remember, guys, see how I'm kind of talking to myself too? I'm telling myself like, oh, I like this for longs. This is my stop if it goes wrong. I'll trim something here on a new pop, and then maybe I get that gap fill. And then vice versa. Not just telling myself what's my plan for if I like this trade. Let's say I like this for a short. I'm kind of pointing myself to myself already. Oh, well, if it breaks under this and I'm getting rejections under this, I should probably be taking short trades down towards this hammer here, this little basing here, and then probably today's open. And if those two break, I'm probably home free at 690, So there's two really, really good scenarios. And as you can see, they're both revolved around who has control of the previous day control point, as well as the gap 50%. What are these levels, guys? What are these two levels? Who in my stream knows what these represent? Or what importance do we put behind these two levels? Why am I speaking as if these levels are the only levels on the screen? Why are these so important? BB levels? Okay, smart ass. Well, what are they? Come on, man. I want real answers today. 50% gap down? Yes. Okay, but what are these levels, though? What are these levels? I've already explained what the levels are. It's the gap down 50% and the previous day control point. But what are these levels? I've gone over these a lot, especially very recently because we've had some newcomers come in chat and ask, hey, what's your strat? This is like the explanation I give each of those people. When they come in here for like a quick second breakdown, what do I show them? What are the most key levels every time? Direction, Mr. Huckett. Great fucking answer. Okay, someone ban Ace. 0.5 of the gap in the previous day control point, they decide direction. Yes. Points of control above, below bear. Yes. 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 I feel like I just raised something from the dead. It's alive. Yes. You're all correct. You're all correct. Decisive levels, directional levels. These are levels of the most priority, right? What's the only one that I didn't just say that's not in that 10-cent range? Come on, you guys got this one. This is the easiest one. What is the third level that is not included in that tiny 10-cent range between 692.24 and 692.34? Can anybody tell me? Oh, Garden already got it. You're all slow. Current day open, exactly. The only other level that isn't in that range. And what are the 3 levels we talk about in here every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year? The current... Oh my god, we're pumping. Guys, don't be stupid. Trim one here or something here. That's already up $40. No, I'm sorry, I lied. That's up 35. I lied. Uh-oh, I'm coughing now. That's not good. Okay, on the real though, how did everyone sleep from Sunday to Monday? And then how was your weekend? I need an answer to both of those questions. And yes, it is part of the quiz. Guys, we are pumping! This isn't even moving that much yet. Oh my god! Yeah, trimming some there. That would be fucking... That would be dumb. I almost said a bad word. That would be dumb. 0.94 to 140. I am not bitching about that. I don't even know the math on that. Let's do it together. All right, so entry cost was 94. Exit was 140. So that's $46 profit. And then you add 2 zeros to it. And then you divide it by your entry cost, 94. 48.93%. Fuck. I love price action. And it's all because I like that this came down and this went red. See how it went green again? Tech went green. I didn't get to pay attention. See how it bounced? That bounced short term. That kept going up. Discretionary still going green. That's not. That is. That is. Okay, so we got like a mix of pushing and pulling right now, but it's mostly going up. Mostly. There's a little bit of happening here. I'm happy with that though. Almost 50% in what? In 7 minutes? Less than 7 minutes? Because we entered at the end of that one. Less than 7 minutes, guys. I don't know if I can complain on that. And we got to do a fun little live teaching lesson all in the middle of it. Wasn't that cool? Who else is doing this on the internet besides Stock Market Live? Which, as I've said, if I'm ever not live, that's the only person y'all should be joining stream on. I don't trust anyone else on the internet. And that's for trim, guys. We like to do most of our trim. But on scalps, honestly, I don't like to play with, like, trim and runners. You should just focus on one. And then as you grow and do more, then you can start to do, like, what I'm doing right now. Selling once, holding a little bit with like you're micromanaging the second half of your position now. So like right now we're like, okay, if this breaks, I'm just going to take my profits. That's kind of my mindset right now. If it keeps going, then I get to take a little bit more profits. Hopefully that makes sense, but just keeping it super simple. Retest at 693.80 in break. I'm not trying to call it the future, man. Or you're saying that because of the gap fill, I guess, but I don't like to talk that way because it sounds like we're putting expectations on price itself. Or unless you're just typing shorthand, then I appreciate that. I know not everybody has time to type out a paragraph. Trust me, I don't want to type out a paragraph either. Me either? Yeah. Okay, good. Just making sure. I don't mean to like talk like that to anybody. It's just I like to make sure we're all on the same page, that we're not like expecting things and we're You know, it's kind of in a fluid state. I'm not trying to press you. I appreciate that. Guys, very important. This ends up breaking. That will short-term break the momentum up. I think a great time is to look at your sectors is definitely right now. Because some of these are reaching gap fills and some of these are just like, I don't want to do anything today. Like this one, comms. It doesn't want to even get out of bed today. Tech and discretionary have filled their gaps, though. Banks have not. A lot of clicking around. Remember, I'm taking my runner if that purple line breaks. We've already taken a very good majority of our contracts off the table, though. I literally just have one left. It really depends on what kind of day and what price I'm buying. I know I've talked about this a lot in the past, but you pretty much should not be looking at anything further than like 1 or 2 or 3 at the money or out of the money. Like if you're looking further than that on like scalps, you're fucking something up. And hopefully, when I broke that down, it didn't feel like a signal to y'all. If you're in here trying to wait for me to say when I'm buying and selling, you're an idiot. Most people in here are genuinely smart and think for themselves. So when I go over these things, they can decide if they want to join with me or not, or if they want to do whatever they want on their own. This isn't one of those chats or communities where I do everything for everybody. They kind of just tune in and have the same levels as me and try to do their best. And then we try to review together. So if you're here for like signals and shit, you're dumb. But hopefully if you guys are trading, you're doing pretty decent alongside some of the stuff I'm mentioning. I try my best not to be like, oh my God, bullish, bullish, bullish. Oh my God, bearish, bearish, bearish. I like to cover both sides of the story. And then if one plays out, I can actually talk about it. If it doesn't play out, I can also talk about it. You know, it's like, it doesn't really matter if it plays out or not. It's just whatever happens, I can talk about. And we can try our best to try and trade it. If we get gap fill, guys, I'm going to TP as well. I didn't talk about it if it kept going up, I guess. Which we're getting really close. I might take that at 154. 150. Yeah, fuck it. I'm taking it. 154. Why does it keep doing that? What is the math on that? What is that? 50, 60, 6,094. I can't do that in my head. 63.8. All right, posted that in the review channel. See how easy that was, guys? I don't really blame some of you that have been here for a really long time for not posting in here because I get it. It's just doing the same thing over and over again. So I get it. But I do appreciate if some of you guys would come in here and actually post your reviews instead of just your gains on the trade floor. Yeah. That's all I had to say. Up to y'all. I also try my best to give the thinking behind stuff too, like even after I'm in the trade or before I'm in the trade, like we did today. I don't predict trade. Don't know how. Okay, I was just making sure. When I see people say retest at 698, or like when they say stuff like that, I'm like, uh, are you like calling that out? Or are you mentioning it? Or are you like guessing it? Because you have no clue how many people I've had come in here and be like I'll literally sit there and be like, this is how easy my game plan was. Like today, I'll be like, above this, I'm bullish. Below this, I'm bearish, right? And then I'll be like, we're probably going for gap fill or we're going for hammer and open test if we go down, right? I'll have someone come in here and be like, I think we're going to hit 693.90 or 693.98. Actually, I don't think your level's good enough. I'm going to say 693.90. I have had people come in here and say shit like that. Bueller, I actually think it's going to hit 693.90. I think your 693.99 is just a tad off, just a hair off. I wish you could see what I was doing in person when I was doing all that, but yeah, pretty crazy, huh? It's like I don't know what made them think they had to be so ignorant. It's not like I go to them and say, hey, make sure you draw your levels like this. Like, remember, you all joined my stream. But yeah. But did anybody take that trade with me? I'm not trying to be like weird or anything, but I don't care about seeing those gains, but did anybody catch that with me or at least understand the breakdown or at least understand like what we use for directional value each and every day? Because I get this question every week. And even some of my longer time traders, I don't see have to do all of this because they're already kind of set in their ways. They don't have to do everything, but it is a little crazy how many times I'll go over trades in here and then I'll have someone message me like after stream or at the end of the week. And it kind of destroys my energy a little bit because they'll hit me up and they'll be like, yo, I'm struggling. I feel like I'm losing all the time. I feel like I just don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like, are you in my streams? Is always my first question. Like, do you have time to check out my streams? Because maybe they don't. You know, maybe they have work, maybe they have kids. Like, not everyone has time to click on these damn things, or at least click on them to review a little bit. I get some of them are like fucking 6 hours long. You know, I don't blame you, but some people, man, are literally in these streams all the time and will ask me those same questions. And it's just like, man, are you even like listening to what I'm saying while I'm in there, or are you just clicking on to support me? Which I get it, I love that, but like, what's the point of being in my streams and then asking me that at the tail end of things? It's like you're not actually learning anything. This isn't school, guys. You can participate as much as you want. You can be the most talkative, most engaging human being in my server / streams. You could be the most quiet in the background person you want. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't take it doesn't take a rocket scientist to just open their ears and just listen, right? So if you guys are in here, I really hope you are actually listening. I hope you are actually taking something away from this. I'm not someone who likes to just get on here and stream and pretend to be some smart, person and be like, yo, subscribe to me, all this stuff. I'm so cool, I'm so awesome. I really like making the people around me awesome. I love the people in my chat. I love all the leaders that we're making in here. And I hopefully some of you can be the exact same. Hopefully some of you can go in there and be like, hey guys, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and just kind of adding reinforcement to others. Just because you are knowledgeable, you are, someone who's been doing this, you got that muscle memory down. It's not about IQ. But yeah, I hope to see more of you though, kind of taking action, I guess is what I'm trying to say. "2026, the year we get the face reveal." No. Nice, Joe. Nice, SF, and good stuff. Yeah, and I like what you said too. Mental trade with it. Like, not everything that I say in here needs to be traded too. Like, let's say you're struggling, right? Is it really smart for you? Actually, we should just cover this in a whole different light. Let's say you've never driven a car in your life. I think all of us would give the same advice. I think we would say practice. Go to like an empty parking lot. Take someone with you that knows what the fuck they're doing, and just go practice, right? And then eventually you'll get it down, and then you can go start to practice on the roads, go get your license. you know, all that good shit, right? It's the same exact thing with trading. Like, why would you get into trading and just instantly start taking trades? That's like you getting into the car and shipping on the highway, like for your first time. It just doesn't make sense. You know, actually take time, go through stuff. What do you like to look at? What do you think has value? Like with my system, we have figured out over time the halfway point of a previous day. If we get a gap down, the halfway point of that, and then the current day open. Those 3 levels. That's it. Add the most directional value for us, right? So I know if I'm above all of them or below all of them or just a couple of them, I have some directional value of, oh, this should go up or, oh, this should go down. And then I can add on a second thing. Oh, well, here's that hammer candlestick holding a higher low, or, oh, here's that lower high hammer rejecting this resistance. You know, like you're able to add on to that. And then you kind of feed off of that. You know, it's like, oh, I got a bearish signal. I feel a little bit more bearish than bullish here because of the positioning. Let's see what other price action we can get. Oh, nice. Like right here today. Let's just use today's example. We got above 2 bullish levels and we're above the other one. We're above all 3 now by the time we got up here, right? When I saw this pullback, what were we looking at? Our sectors. And we saw all of them were kind of but some of them were still going up. So it kind of made me feel, okay, well, this should probably still go up as long as that doesn't change, right? If all of these start flipping red, this would have probably broken this, and we would have probably been testing today's open. So it's all about directional value and then adding on to that with something else. Just to keep it super simple. You were in with me? Nice, Ron. I try to wait until 10 to trade. Plus, if I had joined, it would go the other way. Oh. Don't think that way. Don't think that way. But I feel you. I know you're just joking. All good, though. All good, though. But that's why I like what SF said, mental trade, because it's like, at least she still got in without getting in. Like, she still put herself in those shoes to at least go through the rep. That's why we like the word mental rep. Thanks for not joining. Oop, trimming short at up leg 0.5. Oh, you're shorting down, but you're saying you're trimming some because it hit the 0.5 of it going up from that higher low. Okay. I actually understood that. Good, Maddie. Nice. Also good to see you, Maddie. I know I already said that, but good to see you again. Some bitch. I played a lot of Battlefield with FIPO this weekend. The Austrian Anomaly. I mean, I don't know what people complaining about, man. He comes to my servers and has like 200 ping. I go to his servers have 200 ping. It don't matter. We still top of the leaderboard. Ping don't mean shit. My invite must have gotten lost in the mail. Yeah, on the interwebs, man. I don't know where it went. I wish you had Battlefield Ace. You'd probably like it. It's pretty chaotic. I think that's why I like it. It's just like, ooh, fun explosion. It's like caveman thinking. You too? Hesitated on the calls, but popped. Oh, nice. No. You did good. Actually, when I saw you mention that, I wasn't even mad at all because I saw you say you were doing it to go down. I was like, huh, that's actually a pretty good time for that. After the gap fill, or after most of the gap fill. I feel like some people take their shit too seriously because, like, let's say we're all in longs and then we all exit, and then 5 seconds later, Maddie goes in the chat and goes, guys, I think this looks good for shorts. That would piss some people off, actually. But I looked at it and I was like, oh, actually, yeah, he's right. Like, oh, yeah, my long setup is done, so short setups will probably step it in here pretty soon. What timer candle did you enter on? I honestly entered at the very, very, very beginning of this green candle, but I was trying to enter at the end of this one. Because when you enter on like a red candle going down, you have a very favorable quote when you get in. I got in at 0.94, but it could have been like 0.89. I could have had like 5-6 extra bucks on my entry. So it wasn't perfect, but it was almost damn near. But it was the very, very, very beginning of the green candle here. This one. But I was trying to click it at the end of this. If you go back on the stream, you can literally hear me saying, I like the 693s, blah, 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 blah. And then I start clicking on it and stuff, but it just sucked because it was already flipping into the next candle. So a little bit of a miss on that, but It was the very, very beginning of that. But what I was going over was like the fact that it came up. And while this was coming down, these were not coming down that strong. You know, they did their thing. And then you can start to see the favorable setup of like, okay, well, this looks like a bullish retest. And then you start to see some of these flip green / bouncing more. Because I was right when I clicked back on those and then I came back here. No problem. Thank you. That was a really good question. I think some people get scared to ask that one. I don't know why. People are like, well, Bueller bites at people. It's like, yeah, I bite at the idiots who ask really dumb questions. And you should know as you're typing it if what you're asking is a dumb question or not. Is asking Bueller about levels or price action a dumb question? No, not at all. Is asking me about why don't I have my level a certain way a bad question? Probably. If you ask someone who is stuck in their ways to change their ways, you know, what do you think their response would be? That's my response. There's just no point in switching up. I already have something I like. I like to do what I like to do. It is pretty insane, though. People will be like, why aren't you trading it like this? I do it like this. Why don't you do it like that? I don't, because I don't do it like that. It's not my preference. Yeah. Can you check AMC? Yeah, that's a great question. That would be a good one. I know you're kidding. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hopefully you're doing good on this start of the week, brother. We already took almost 70% gains on this, actually. 50% on trim, 68% on final TP on the move up. So we're having a pretty fucking stellar start to the week ourselves. And here, Joe, I'll switch to the 5-minute real quick too, so you can see it from this POV. You'll see there's literally no retest on the 5-minute. I mean, there is, but not visually. Wow, that's actually crazy. How's that 2? Oh, the 2-minute's fucking beautiful. The 2-minute was a bullish engulfing? Is that higher? No, they're the same level. Oh my god, that was 1 cent away from being a bullish engulfing at the low. On the 2-minute. Which I don't check that one at all, but I sometimes want to tell myself, like, one day I think I want to be someone who looks at the 2-minute. But I just haven't made that move in a very long time. I'm so hell-bent on, like, the 5 down to the 1. I love the 10, I love the 30, and I really fucking love the daily. The daily time frame is probably the best time frame in my opinion. I think it's the most powerful. I think it provides the most info. I think it's the most mature in terms of like when you open up your time frames, like which one really feels like you're getting the most impact out of it when you zoom out. Because you can't really get that out of like your smaller time frames. But that's just what I feel. I feel like you get the most impact out of it. Your favorite time frame? Legend. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite time frame. And I think it's funny too, because you can back in the day when I would draw a lot of these levels, I would only draw stuff on the daily. So I think I've just gotten into the mindset of like, you don't have to check much. You know, you just have to check a couple simple things, and it's like, all right, bet those are my levels. You know, it doesn't matter what time frame you draw them on. Sometimes when you're drawing them on the daily, it just feels like it logically makes the most sense because you're seeing, oh, this is where this has been before, but it's never gotten above this. You know, you see, oh, that's a clear resistance. You know, and then being able to mark your smaller time frame levels shouldn't be an issue because it's of the same day. If that makes sense. But yeah. Yo, how was everyone's weekend though? What'd you guys do this weekend? How did everyone do? Did you guys rest? Did you guys travel a bunch? What'd you guys do this weekend? FBGM? Oh, never mind. I just got what you meant. I had like a 3-second brain fart. Watch football, watch my Chargers. Look like a JV high school team. So cool. Oh, yeah, the playoffs are starting. I haven't watched any football this year. How are the Chargers? Or who'd they lose to? I guess is what I should be asking. Damn, the Chargers made the playoffs, though? What fucking year am I in? I used to always root for the Chargers when I wasn't rooting for the Texans. I just always loved what random teammates they had. Back in the day, it was LaDainian Tomlinson. Nowadays, it's all these other guys. I don't even remember y'all's quarterback name, but I like that guy. Just did chores this weekend and chilled. Man, that is honestly a good productive weekend. Watch my Patriots look like Super Bowl contenders. Junior's so baby. Wonder what he's up to. Football and funeral. Wait, actually, that was your weekend? I'm not even laughing at you. It's just like that was like the wording. Football and funeral. ... What fun. What a crazy sentence there. A crazy answer. Oh, I'm sorry, man. If you lost anybody super close to you. Sorry about that, yeah. We also just had a death in the family, but I was not close to them at all. And then football-wise, Data J, who are you rooting for? Who am I rooting for on the Dr. J side of things? I do always forget where some of you live because there's so many of you. I do sometimes just be like, oh yeah, he isn't. Like when I picture like Sinful and Ace, I just picture the most northerner type person ever. Even though they're probably not like that at all. Ace supporting Patriots is in character. yeah, he's actually in character for that one. The Bills, okay. Damn, you're a Bills fan. That fucking sucks. I don't know if they're doing good or not anymore, but damn, dude. That's got to be the team that does the best that never wins anything. I mean, they're so good all the time. And it's got to be one of the top 5 logos of the NFL. Just because it's so OG. You're in Western New York? Okay, bet. I'll think of you as like a cowboy version of Ace. What part of New York is Ace in? Is he west, north, south, or east? Or is he west? Some people do live west these days. All right, let's check our sectors for a second. Bigger time frame. I can't see them on the 5 minutes, to be honest. Okay, guys, so tech, and when you're going through these, try to give like a super dumbed down breakdown for yourself. Like I'm gonna explain that to you right here. Tech up, consolidating. That's it. Barely up. Really didn't move much. I mean, kind of like coughed, and that looks like it's barely holding on to the current day. But this one's basically a doji. Gap fill, consolidating ever since. Okay, nice. No real chances of going up here, but they are trying to get a retake of current day open. So they're around CDO, comms. That's your Metas, your Googles, shit like that. Now, healthcare, this one would not stop moving these past few months, and it doesn't plan to stop now. What I mean is it moves a lot, like up and down. It moves a lot. So that's always a fun one to pay attention to. But they went down, went back up, rejected the current day open, and are falling again. So rejecting a bearish level since they're under it, and falling more. And then our staples are going up. I don't know if I'm happy or scared about that, because normally your tech stocks and your staple stocks do not go up at the same time like this. You see how this has gone up the past couple days? You go here. These have gone up the past couple days. Those are not supposed to be doing that. So there's a little bit of indecision in the market. It just doesn't feel like it because a lot of the things are just going up. But there is actually a big sector rotation indecision. And you have gold going up at the same time. So that's another sign. Honestly, I can't wait for more of you to get into the sector shit, because it is honestly insane how helpful it is. Even just from a macro. You're like, oh, gold's going up, SPY's going up, tech is going up, staples are going up. Is crypto going up today? That would be a fucking perfect little trifecta. But just basically showing everything is going up. You know, nothing's falling. That means nothing's being rotated out of, meaning there is actually indecision. Everyone's too bullish. So something is going to get eventually, one of those markets are eventually going to reverse. Now, whether it's our market, the equities, SPY, all this shit we like to look at, is it gold? Is it oil? Is it crypto? You know, we don't know. But that's what I'm talking about. Hopefully some of you guys are clicking onto that. Or just your sectors. The sectors alone are very helpful. Should be a sector to look at. I mean, you don't have to look at it. I'm just trying to explain to you. It's not just, what am I drawing? It's not just SPY and equities, like what you and me like to trade. Tesla, Netflix, those are equities. SPY is an exchange traded. It's ETF, so it's not an equity. And then you have gold, and then you have crypto, and then you have energy stocks, or not even just energy stocks, but that could sometimes just mean oil. Then you have bonds. It's like your yields. I'll just type bond slash yields. And that's not even everything. I still haven't even said forex. I haven't even said like corn commodities. So as you can see, and this isn't all of them. This is just the majority of them. As you can see, there are a lot of different markets for money to park, to go up, to go down. There's a lot of different markets for money to participate in. And they all rotate in and out of these at different times. It's not like there's a set cycle. It's not like there's a set order. It's just watching the indifferences is really helpful. So let's say 9 out of 10 things are going up, and that 10th thing is going down. You know, even if we're not trading anything or specifically touching anything, the information that we're getting from that is insane. Because those 9 aren't going to forever go away from the 10th. There is going to be that day where the 10th has its heyday, and those 9 slow down. You know, if that's the relationship between them. So it's kind of figuring out where are these all at in comparison to one another, and then seeing what's rotating in and out of what. Now, do you need to be looking at all 7 of these to understand any of the one? No. You could just straight up ignore the other 6 and just focus on this. You could ignore the other 6 and just focus on this. So it's really up to you. The more you look at, the more awareness you get. And I think outside of that too, like on SPY, I think you're unaware if you aren't looking at your sectors. But there's people out there who don't look at them and do fine. But that's because they're set in their ways. They have a conditional format for themselves. You know, like what we do. Like, oh, we know if we're above this, we're more bullish than bearish, and we can look for bullish candlestick patterns, bullish retest, shit like that, right? And vice versa. Maybe they have something like that that just doesn't include sectors. Because as you can see, you can still do my system without sectors, but I like to also teach them because I just feel like it empowers the trader, right? Imagine you knew that this was still bullish just because of what a couple sectors told you, like we did today. Don't you think that would be pretty helpful? You know, so yes, you can still do great without all this extra awareness. You can't see my air quotes, this extra awareness, but I just think it helps a lot for someone who does want to have a stronger grip on things. You know, let's say you're someone who's in here and you understand all the levels I've taught. You know, that's great. But what else do you want? You know, what else can you do to increase that probability Candlestick patterns, learning candlestick patterns, knowing that higher lows are a bullish trend, lower highs are a bearish trend, and then outside of that, how to fib those. How do you draw Fibonacci on that to actually correctly trade it, micromanage it. And then if you want to add in that sector stuff at the very, very end of all that, I don't see why that doesn't help. Further increases the probability. And sometimes, you'll see mine, it's not even about mentioning it. Like today, I did mention it pretty heavily because XLK, but you'll see me extra focus on it like today when one sector is clearly up and the rest just need to do something. Like when it's like, come on, guys, come on. This is like the easiest fucking confirmation. Can we just get something to move, It's almost like we're rooting for these other sectors to just wake up to any extent. Excuse me. So, to answer your question, no, you don't have to. It's just up to you. Like personally, I mainly focus on the SPY and then the sectors, and then occasionally, for information's sake, I just like looking at other sectors. I think it's cool to check out crypto because if I ever want to trade coin, I want to know what kind of vibe crypto is having. Are they going up? They going down? What's the vibe? Are they what's going on? If I want to trade an energy stock, I want to know the context of how the energy sector is doing, like XOM or Chevron. I want to know. And the same goes for even more when you go further in depth, on just certain sectors. If I want to trade Apple or I want to trade Nvidia, I got to look at XOK, but also maybe look at some of their peers outside of that. If I look at Nvidia, I'm probably going to look at AMD. I'm probably going to look at Avgo. I'm probably going to look at all these other different tech stocks that are up there. Whether it's due to weight and they're close in weight, or because they're in the same exact subsector, they're both semiconductors, then yeah, I'm gonna look at that. I want to see what are the to give myself further context in what that chart is trying to tell me. Right. So start with just Nvidia, then look at its peers, then look at XLK, then look at Spot, and you'll see you're getting a different picture each time. Stopped out that runner for a loss, broke even on the trade, took 15 points on NQ overnight, so probably chilling. Good shit, Maddie. Good risk. I like that you kind of just were like, nah, I'm gonna just end it there. Not letting it get anything, not letting it get crazier. Yeah, I mean, it's just consolidated since it got here. Kind of boring. That would be a cool stat to find. After a gap fills, or damn near fills, we could say within a 0.5% range or something. How long does it take to actually start moving outside of that percentage move of a range? Because that would be kind of cool. Meaning, after a gap fills, how long does it consolidate? You'll probably get an average time. But it's not like every time it does this, it consolidates. So I don't want to tell you that either. I was just reviewing. I don't think it'd be fair to say every time a gap fills, dude, it consolidates. No, that's not true. Sometimes it just shoots through. Sometimes it rejects, and we have the craziest up down at the beginning of a day. The Burj Khalifa. Gotta go slap some paint on some walls. Have a good one, everybody. You too, Maddie. Have a great one, dude. Be safe. Don't sniff too much paint. Unless it's really cool, man. Unless it's really funny. But hopefully some of the breakdowns have helped in today's stream. It's only been an hour, but it's been a pretty strong hour, if you ask me. A lot of good questions in here, too. Thanks to you guys. Aloha, you're in here, right? In a little bit, I like to start going over some of the stuff with you, but I want to make sure you're all good. Yep. What's up? How you doing, by the way? Gotta go slap some paint on some drywalls. All good? Nice, nice. All right. Here in a little bit, we'll go over some stuff. I just wanted to like give it like a pretty warm warning, like, hey, we're gonna start soon. But we'll just go over a couple things. I don't want to overwhelm you the first time we start looking at stuff like this, but or not the first time. You know what I mean. And I'm glad you got to read those notes. I did. It did take me. Honestly, it didn't take me long to type that. I was like in a flow state when I was typing all that. But hopefully that was helpful. Just kind of, just so you know, like, okay, what are we about to talk about? What am I about to get into? And I think the thing I really, really want you to remember too is like no rushing. Seriously, as much as we'll probably want to at certain points, cannot do that. That has got to be like the number one rule. No rushing. That's what I should have done. I should have been like, yo, go find 2 setups for my channel. But actually, that would have been hard to scroll through. I should have made you like pick one that you wanted to learn about. But no, I should probably just choose them. I'm definitely not choosing any of the UPS examples. I'm pretty sure you witnessed like all 3 of those. Can't do any of the lottos for a review. Wait, what am I scrolling for? I have all of this saved. Okay, we're gonna definitely cover CCL because that ended up being a pretty crazy winner. But that's not why I want to show you it. It's just like the play was super like up the alley. It was the setup, you know. It just wasn't on a ticker where we're used to being like, oh, let's trade this. So I think that's why it felt kind of weird at first, but we definitely weren't bitching at the end of it. We need to cover a loss play too, but one that makes sense, not one that's just like, oh, well, the market gap down. No shit. That one's kind of obvious. Which, even on those two, like if you ever find yourself with like a swing play, like using my setup, like my strategy with the daily stop loss, what that means is like you're not allowed to cut that play until you definitely know for 100% certainty that that day on the daily time frame is closing past the level you set as a stop loss. I don't care what it says in the 5 minute. I don't care what it says in the 10 minute. I don't care what it says in the 30 minute. I don't care. Right? If we're using a daily time frame stop loss, let's use a daily time frame stop loss. What's the point of watching it on the 5 minute? You know what I mean? So that's a really big thing. Is what time frame you watching these setups on? Because I think so many people they go down to that 5 minute or even the 10 or 30 minute. And they're like, well, I gotta cut this. It looks really bad on this time frame. It's like, yeah, but that's not what we were setting it up on. So why are we looking at that? You know, I've found that my win rate goes through the roof whenever I have a daily time frame stop loss on my swings. So make sure you understand that too, or write that down or something. Daily time frame stop loss. And I know what you're gonna ask next. Well, how do you cut that? A lot of the time you'll see, but by the end of the day, of the like, let's say after the day you've entered, and let's say like that next day is fucking with you, you don't know if you need to hold it or not, and it's like hitting your stop loss, it goes below it. Um, it's like it's only morning or lunchtime, you know, you're fine. If it's end of day, you're not fine. You know, so it's about what phase of the day are you in? Are you in the first 2 phases? Okay, you're fine. That's okay. Wait a little bit till the end of the day. Oh, it's still under your stop loss. Oh, you're not feeling like you like it. Oh, its sector has a bearish candle now, and you don't like that. Okay, then that's a good reason to cut. See, it's about stacking reasons to find something to do. You know what I mean? I allow the reasoning to push me to make that decision instead of just being like, well, I'm scared and red candles scaring me, I cut. You know, it's like, that's not really helpful. But I've noticed the win rate definitely goes up through the roof when you do that. So make sure you understand that for your stop losses. I wanted to go over that first because that's probably the most important. Because I think another big thing that really helps with the strategy, and you'll notice that it's like the same thing for like scalps. The smaller your losses are, the best. Because even if you have, let's say, 6 out of 10 trades that were all losses, meaning you only won 4 of them, maybe one of them was like break even, you should still be profiting that. It doesn't matter that you're losing more. I think people get that wrong too. It's like you can have a rough time and still have a profiting, and still be profiting, even with a bad win rate. You can have less than 50%, but you have to have good winners, and that's why we do the trim to full take profit method. The trim once and then get out the second time, and then that daily time frame stop loss, because it'll keep you in a lot more setups that have potential. So we also need to be putting ourselves in the seat that has potential. That's what you and me are going to be going over. Finding plays that have potential and why do they have potential, so we can understand how to spot it yourself. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. All right, I don't really know what examples I'm going to go through, but we'll just go through a couple. We'll start here in a minute. God, I'm like out of breath now after that. I don't know what it is with Mondays, man. I always wake up on Mondays like all this shit's in my throat. All right. Let's see if SPY's going to keep pulling back because it is breaking base. When I say pull back, I think I genuinely do mean like, I guess I should start asking y'all that. Where do you think structure is? But it's kind of hard of a question because you're all on YouTube chat. But let's say I'm asking you guys, where is structure? Like, I really do mean like the meat of this low, so if this is the meat, it's actually that. The meat of this low where it came down on the 5 minute right here. I like that when it came back down to potentially break structure. We switched the smaller time frame. I want to see it break that structure on this time frame. Right, so it's nice that it broke it, retook, broke it again. We're still kind of looking to see if it has that control, but we definitely feel, okay, this has slowed down to enough impact where it could pull back to that halfway point. Which again, as you remember, why is it so important that we get to this or magnet back to this? Because this is where our most decision point levels are. Our biggest deciding levels are our most levels of importance, our levels of priority, the levels that literally decide direction every single day for us. So that's why it's important. Oh, it's breaking structure. Where is it pulling back to? Oh, well, if it does pull back, it probably wants to magnet back to probably the most important part of the area of the chart today. If it doesn't, where does it want to go? Well, it's got to go to the lower high first. Remember, recent left. Always remember, when you're on your smaller time frames, when you're zoomed in, watch your recent left. And this also applies to your daily time frame sometimes, whenever you're charting your daily time frame candlesticks and you're looking over that recent left to see if there's consolidation, is there a supply? Because in reality, this is what price action really looks like. There's the high of day. Here's the lower high of supply of high of day. And then on the other end of things, let me remove all this, make it look a little bit differently. And on the other end of things, from the low of the move to the top of the last red candle, now you have a demand. So if you really, really, really want to micromanage this is really what it's like doing. It's a little bit more. So you can see it has actually rejected. It has pulled back, rejected again. It has pulled back, rejected again. It's really just looking to lose this support, right? They got under it, they closed and everything, got back into it. So it's a potential liquidity grab now. Now that you see, oh, it broke and retook, no good retest is happening. Now we're like, fuck, well, the longer it holds over, the longer it's probably want to smack that again. It's a step-by-step thing, conditional. I wouldn't draw this many on the 1 minute. I'm just showing you what price is actually fighting against, or the areas it's trying to get by to get to these other key areas like here or here. What is this song I'm listening to? All right, SF, let's go through a couple. So the first one I want to go through is this one. I just think it was just a good example. The result speaks for itself, but it was what we were looking at, right? So I'm gonna try my best to zoom past all of that. That doesn't help. I want to show you everything before it did the thing, you know? Because then it's like, well, that doesn't fucking help. Okay, maybe I do need to zoom out more. Just 6 months. There we go. You can see I did the recent left thing. I literally just explained on stream. That's funny. I want to get all of that, but I want to ignore that. There we go. Oh my god, I got it. We did it. We finally did it. I don't think I've changed anything here either. Right, so I think if I was to backtest this, I should get the exact same levels. I don't think I drew this one, but I just want to know for Pete's sake what... Okay, I didn't draw that. I probably started here. Oh, I already fucked up my own thing. It's actually from here. Ah, there's that difference. Okay, so there we go. Now I'm on track. There to there. Yep. Okay, now I know what I'm looking at. So all these are just drawdowns. I'll just show you kind of a better example. So let's say there's like a move down, and there's like a bunch of consolidation, and then it moves down again. People don't seem to grasp how you get this lower high correctly, but it's from the drawdown, right? The drawdown is of the high to the low of the move that, let's say this was consolidating like right here, and this is why lead tests are so fucking good. This is basically just a larger time frame lead test. Is this basing right here, and then price decides to just fucking destroy it that day for some reason, right? The high to the low of that move, and this is what the difference is between the lead test and the midterm retest. Everyone seems to think those are the same thing, but they're actually a little bit different. The lead test is of the move that broke that structure, right? This is of the move that broke that structure. So high to the low of that drawdown. So that you need to understand that's what that's called, drawdown. 50% of the drawdown, 50%. This is where the lower high can be made. This is where the lower high would be made, around 50%. Right? Sometimes it'll stop below it, sometimes it'll go above it, and then we see it retake. Sometimes it just literally holds, and then it bounces and goes to all-time highs. But it's always important to understand that we're looking at the supply of that high, we're looking at the base, and we're looking at the 50%. There's actually like 3 areas there that are now important to us. And you see how I'm looking at the recent left? That's what we're doing here. We're looking at the recent left. And let's say price isn't perfect, right? This is a pretty clearly perfect example. But let me show you what price did here for like CCL. Oh my god. Why did I draw it again? There we go. Okay, so, oh, I don't have to zoom. We're good. So we see the drawdown fibs. You see how I got these now, right? You understand what the hell these are now? They're not just 50% of gap downs. They're not just 50% of another gap. Like, they really are drawdown 50%. So from this high, because it came down from here to here, then stopped. This one's a little awkward to look at. You go high to low of move, right? And that's how you get that 28.96, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the other one. And then you go from this high to this low, and you get 27.45, right? So it kind of just sets up, if we were to bounce here, because remember, as of right here, right now, because this is where we entered here. So this is, I'm just showing you the same information I had, so you understand the potential and why we like the potential, right? If it was to start bouncing up, these could be seen as potential target areas. It's like, oh, well, we're going to 29s, or oh, we're going to 27.45, right? We're probably targeting this one because it's the first one. Instead of just saying some obvious bullshit of like, oh, well, I like to open up that red candle, or I like to open up that green candle there, or I like this resistance here, or, you know, just marking some super common bullshit. This actually calculates out what is the lower high area based on movement, how much movement happened, right? Instead of me saying, oh, well, I like this common support right here. I like this common support right here. Like, that doesn't fucking matter. None of that matters, right? We're just drawing super basic. Where can a lower high be on this chart? Where can a higher low be on this chart? That's all we're looking at. So now you understand like how we got all that crap. But here we are. So price came down, just to kind of put you in the mindset of where we're at on why we like this. Also, try to think of what candlestick pattern this represents. Not only is there a 3 candlestick pattern here, but there is a 2 candlestick pattern here. So try to figure those both out while I go through the rest of this. And then I'll check out to see if you answered or not. But there's this common low right here, right? We get this low, we get a retake of the low, and then it consolidates its ass off, right? So basically, price came down, and there's an important level here, and then it retook it, and then it just consolidated, just flat heart rate over the level, right? That is liquidity grab. We had the break and the retake. That's what a 90% entry is, right? So when we see the 90% happen, when we see a liquidity grab happen, we understand that bears, bulls, consolidation, right? Just to keep it super simple. So now we know there's actually energy built here because of the liquidation of sellers to the downside there. And now they've consolidated over. They've trapped them, right? For us to get a bullish candlestick on the end of this context is like getting a sign from God saying, please go to the moon. You know, it's definitely made of cheese. Go to the moon. Yeah, it's literally like someone just reached out from the skies and said, hey, get in. Hey, it's bullish. You know, that's why I wanted to go over this one, because I think if I showed this setup to a lot of other people, they'd be like, it looks like lower highs. But we ended up catching one of the craziest swings of the year on this. And it was at the last month of the year. So that's where our context was. And that's why I wanted to go over this with all the other right side shit cut out, because I want you to see what we saw. So you could also understand, like, okay, I see why he sees the potential. If you take in all of this, you're going to miss this, right? So you got to zoom in and see, okay, what is it doing, right? You got to start from here and tell the story of the chart. You see how I was like drawing those drawdowns, then I kind of worked myself into seeing, oh, the break and retake right here. Oh, it's consolidating a bunch. Oh, bullish candlestick, right? I didn't find one thing of the drawdowns. I didn't find two things, the consolidation here and the retake here. I found three things. I didn't find three things. The consolidation after the liquidity grab, then the multiple bullish candlesticks here. So we had four things telling us, hey, this is a potential setup. So it never starts with just one thing. It's never just, oh, let me find a bullish candlestick, because then you're fucked. Because if you're in the middle of a downtrend, you're fucked. So it always starts with one thing, then a multiple, then another, then another. See, I waited for four things. Remember how I go over a lot of the scalps in the stream, and I'll be like, wait for the second thing, wait for the second thing, wait for the second thing. When I say that, I think of Carter a lot now. He's been saying in a lot of his setups now, like waiting for the second thing. I waited for the second thing. You know, it's the same thing with this, except a little bit more. You know, sometimes it's 2, 3 things. Sometimes in this case, it was 4. You know, it's just because it was in a downtrend chart, it probably makes sense. Just think about that too. If we're in a chart that's been doing really bad and now we're suddenly finding this bullish setup, doesn't it make sense that we find more than just 2 or 3 things to get us in? Right? Whereas a setup that's in a more obvious part of its trend, a bullish trade in a bullish part of its trend, we probably only need like 1 or 2 things to tell us, because we already understand the basic part of the trend, right? See, now it kind of logically makes sense. So that's what I'm trying to get at. A lot of the things in the strategy are just logical, you know, once you get to it, right? If I was to say that day one, it'd be like, well, how the fuck did I figure that out? It's just through experiences, through these wins, these losses, through the time of trying to look at it in a certain light. You know, I wouldn't say day one, if we tried this, we'd be so successful, we'd do so well. No, we'd probably be broke. But now understanding, okay, well, that's why it works. You know, now it's like, oh, okay, now we can try our best to recreate that. But that bullish kicker is what you're saying is the message, 100%. But what is the other one? Do you know the other one? So what I was trying to ask you is, there's actually a 3 candlestick pattern here. It's just really hard to see because it's green, red, green. And then the 2 candlestick pattern, which you got this one already, the bullish kicker. But what is the other one? What is this 3 candlestick pattern? So it's actually like 5 things, actually. I'm not even counting that correctly. There's actually 5 things here because it's 2 patterns in one. But what would this other pattern be? Lower open to higher open. Morningstar. Exactly. And I see Bob got it as well. Bob Johnson Award. Morningstar and bullish kicker. Exactly. So now you can see it's not just like one thing. It's a lot, you know. So that's why I mean, like, we got to take our time, no rushing, because it's not just about like, all right, how do I draw these levels? It's about how do I find the setup, how do I spot it, you know, and then you and me still didn't even go over like micromanaging the trade. Like, all right, now that we're in, where's our stop loss? You know, I'm looking for a daily close, and this is super simple for you. Go from the low to the high of the pattern. Daily close under 26. If there's a daily close under 26, we're out. So that's good risk. Really good risk. It's probably one of the best risk reward trades we had of the year. Now, that one's simple. We're just abusing the pattern. I have a pattern here. Bet 50% of that. Am I above it? Bet I'm going to keep holding my trade. Oh, I'm below it? Okay. A little bit riskier to hold this trade. Unless I find another reason to validate holding it, you know, then I don't see the point in holding it. It's pretty clear. And what should we be cutting it on? The 5-minute SF or what? What are we cutting those swing trades on? Or what part of the day, or, you know, kind of stemming from our first conversation? Am I cutting that on the 1 minute, or what am I cutting that on? By the way, can we just zoom out and appreciate this just artwork right here? Wait, where did it all go? Oh, it's over here. I mean, look at this, man. I've really been trying to get better at my Picasso stuff. You know, I mean, whew. Got a heartbeat thing over here. Got a star over here. Close a daily candle. Keith got it. Hopefully you got that as well, SF. Let me know if you did or not. If you were still like, wait, what do I supposed to say here? Let me know. Don't be ashamed if you were. Okay, you were still typing. Okay. You do get it, though. I'm just making sure. If there's ever a part where we're like, kind of a rough spot, I'll go over it a couple times. But if you get it, then there's no need. Because some of this stuff is super simple. It's just like, okay, I just need to hear it. So I get it. And anyone else listening in, I am kind of mainly just focused on the homie here, SF. But anyone else listening in or anything else like that, feel free to ask questions or just, you know, interact like Keith and Bob here. It's not like it's illegal or anything. Like, you're allowed to also tune in and join in. Now let's try to find one that didn't work out. I don't know why I closed it. And I don't just mean like didn't work. Oh, my bank trade. That would be perfect. Because it worked and didn't work. Oh, okay, yeah. This is a really good example. I'm reading my notes here. Okay, this is a really good example. Okay, so we're bearish here. And this is exactly why you have to stick to that stop loss rule. This is a fucking great example. I'm so fucking glad I just randomly looked at this one. Okay, so we entered this day. We're like, yo, we're bearish. I mean, pretty obviously, you know, we're against an old all-time high. This day had a wick, and I don't know if I'm ballsy enough to enter on just one wick against the first touch of something, right? Just because it went up here, that doesn't mean it's bearish. It just means there was some take profits there. But then seeing it a second time, it's like, okay, I'll take my risk on that, right? The first, we only had, I don't know how many contracts I had of this actually. On my notes here, it only says half. So it says on the first half of our trade, we cut this the next day. And then the second half of the trade, we left on the table. And then we had that, remember that big lucky dump we had happen? So the first half of the trade only got, no, it lost 31%, which actually isn't, I guess, horrible. Entries 1.33, exits 0.92. Final runner, JPM 1.33. You're going to hear this number and it's going to blow your mind. And you got to remember, I was taking profit like before it got to the low. So it went a lot more than where I took profit. Okay, the second runner, or the second half of the position, 4.85 from 1.33, 264%. So because I had a little bit of like scared bullshit emotions, we missed out on half of our profits because we wanted to cut for minus 31% here on half of our position. Because we knew, okay, this is potentially going to fuck us if this is an uptrend, and we let emotion scare us, right? We were zoomed in on this. Let me delete all this and show you again. We were zoomed in on just this. This is what we were zoomed in on, and that's what it felt like to us. It felt like, oh my god, this looks like a bullish retest happening. Let's cut half here and hopefully get lucky on the second half. You know, that's what that trade turned into. Instead of it turning into, oh, guys, we know that this is still bearish because it hasn't actually closed over anything that is actually anything we planned. Nice. Good for us. Another day of bullshit, right? Meaning this is a 50-50 candle after a bearish candle, after a slowdown candle. See how I'm kind of reading the context now? Now I'm kind of like, oh, wow, why didn't I hold that? What, am I fucking blind? See how emotions can blind you? Emotions can change everything. Emotions can change the way you think. Emotion can change logic. So that's why it's very important that you trust the rules in whatever strategy or system you're following, so you don't have these reactions as much, because you're still going to get them, but they don't need to be so common that they're damaging. So this is a really, really good example. Now you see why I'm saying that, because yeah, the outcome was cool. Chat's glazing me because we got a huge gain on the second half of that JPM trade. I'm pretty sure this was only 4 contracts. I don't normally go over 1,000 in a swing unless I'm like really feeling it. So this was definitely like 4 contracts probably. So we probably ducked 2 and then had 2. And you got to remember that 485 was probably like, well, this is me probably taking profit like somewhere in here. I definitely didn't make it to the low. So imagine that contract then. We're looking at the end of that day, you know, hitting a 50% gap here. It's filling that gap. It's getting down to the open of that candle. It's like, damn, this is a pretty lucky, you know, drop happening for us. It was because of that bank stuff that happened that day, right? So we were so locked in on this and then that, and then getting scared, we didn't allow ourselves to even capture a bigger portion of those profits. You know, that could have been a really, really comfortable win. You know, that could have been really, 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 really nice. But you can see we fucked it up. I mean, we still did great. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like, oh, dude, this is horrible. But you can see that was a dirty win. That was a very dirty win. That was the dirtiest one of the year. Could have been the craziest one of the year. Very, very dirty. That's why I like some of those reviews in the chat where people are like, this is dirty money review. And it's just like, it's like a good trade, but it's like they didn't intend to do some of it. You know, it's like their intentions were off. And that's what they mean. They don't mean like, oh, this trade sucked. It's just like, it definitely just, I definitely just got lucky. You know, there's a lot of trades that are going to happen like that. People only think about the negative, but it also happens on the positive side too. It's like, if you know what's worse than losing a trade? Winning a trade that you didn't actually intend or think about. You know, it's like, you probably just damaged yourself more. Yeah, you made money in the short term, but you're probably going to fuck yourself in the long run because now you think that that's a logical way to approach things, or you think that's a high probability situation, you think that's a good strategy, you think that's, you know, you're going to keep repeating this because you thought it was good because that one time it made you money. So that's another thing you want to try to avoid, is making dirty money. Just what that phrase is for. Let's go through a couple more, I guess. I'm not really bored of these yet. Those were honestly the 2 best examples I think we could have picked. Out of the over 40 swings I could have picked from, I think those were the best 2 I could have picked for like a good and a bad to learn from. I want to try to find you the other example of plays that we look for, right? Because there's going to be like StarBUX, UPS. You see, we've nitpicked it since down here with shares and options. We caught it a second time up here. We caught it a third time up here. You know, some of these are just like, well, I think UPS is a good dip buy chart. You know, sometimes it's as easy as that. And then micromanaging, like actually finding, oh, I found this was like the 5th time they held this low. You know, sometimes it is finding something as basic as that. So sometimes you can see it's not looking for the 921 EMA strat stuff. Sometimes it is just looking for, oh, it's holding common lows on a stock that I'm surprised is even this, like UPS. I think we both can agree UPS is going to be around for a long time. You know, that's like a logical thing. Like, oh, okay, I see that sticking around. So it makes sense that we'd be looking at dip buys for that when it is on discount. So that's like a kind of extra thing. I wouldn't say that's like, and that's what I mean in some of my posts on my swing channel. You'll see I say sometimes, guys, this is in according to the strat, so it's not as risky. guys, this is not according to the strat, so it's a lot riskier. I don't call out plays like this, so I'm labeling this a lotto. You know, I'm trying to label, hey, this isn't according to my plan, but I kind of like it based on other things I've seen. You know, I'm still doing that. Let me stack these couple confirmations, or let me stack these couple things to get me in or out. And then we end up getting into plays like this, you know, where we're entering here, we're trimming, holding, taking profit. You know, it's like what fucking or no wait, we took profit here. My bad. What better time could we have had on that swing? You know, it just went up the whole time. But they're not always going to do that. So that's why I like that JPN one. I like that one a lot because it shows you there is an ugly side to this shit. And how can you manage yourself? And how you manage yourself is honestly how you separate yourself from the rest. It's not even can you win more. You can have a shitty win rate. As long as your winners are more impactful, it doesn't matter. But if you can also align that win rate to be a little higher, then of course you'll be sitting pretty. But let's look at this one even. Like we say this is such an obvious play, but in some people's eyes it isn't. What is that? A drawdown 50% of the past left trend. Then we have a pullback, and then you have a bullish engulfing retake. So I get how many things here? Is this just one thing because it's a bullish engulfing? No. You got the bullish engulfing, and you got the retake, the 90%, the break and retake of something, right? Of what? It's of a drawdown. 50% of a drawdown from the far left. At least that's what that should be. Oh no, it's a 50% gap, even fucking better. So an impactful level. So gather context. Try to stack a couple things. I'm like throwing air quotes, like you can see that, but like a couple confirmations, couple things, couple patterns, couple, you know, literally any pieces of context to help you out. As you can see, context is probably the most important word ever. You know, when I talk about stuff on the smaller time frames, when I'm talking about sectors, when I'm talking about sector rotation, money rotation, when I'm talking about literally anything, we're almost always talking about context. What did this say beforehand? Or what is it doing now from that? You know, what can we take away from that? It's just like a movie. It's just like a show. It's just like a book. You know, it's you're just gathering context and not really guessing at the end, like in a murder mystery example, like you've heard before. But yeah. Maybe we could do one more example. You want to do one more? I'll let you choose one if you want. If not, I'll just choose one. Up to you. If there was a specific one that was like, for some reason you were thinking about it, you want me to go over it. If not, then I'll just choose a random one. I'm just choosing from this long ass list. Why can't I move my notes? You'll let me choose? Okay. Well, Starbucks was like the very first one. I went over that a little bit. Went over UPS. I went over UPS because I have called this out like 3 times. Also, I guess I could throw some free credit some way. Now, like I've said before, I didn't actually check this guy's page to catch these plays. But I love to give him free shout outs because he's like the only guy I really follow on Twitter. If I can find him. Here he is. So shout out to this guy because he looks at charts actually exactly how I look at charts too. He has like other stuff too. But I always like to like shout him out and stuff, even if he doesn't actually help me on my plays or not. Just because I don't know, he's kind of nice and he posts good candlestick patterns, and the volume profile isn't bad. I don't mind it. You can see he posts all kinds of tickers. I don't post half of these fucking tickers. Nail, that's like a ETF. But either way, you know, sometimes too, it's just nice having like another place to look at for motivation. Like I'm using Chart Norse as an example for me. You know, for the longest time, I thought I was like the only person who looked at patterns with positioning because nobody posts that shit online. It's all about indicators, selling things, and doing this and doing that. You know, it's people are always changing what they're doing, but I've tried to maintain doing the exact same thing the entire time because I don't understand what the jumping around shit. Like, you're not going to learn that way. It's going to be very volatile if you're constantly jumping strats. Like, I'll never understand that. And people do that all the time. Most people and all these little groups and shit change strategy like every year. Even the people that run those groups change strats like every year. Right. The only way we've really changed in here or maybe some of the key levels, right? And how we look at them, but literally nothing has changed besides that. Going from just emerging candles to well, hold up, guys, there actually are key level priority. That's pretty much it. This is still live, yes. What's up? It's only 10. One second. Sorry, my dog was barking and I had to go see. I've seen too many scary movies where like the dog's barking, the family ignores it, and then by the end of the movie, the whole family's dead. It's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna listen to see what the dog's barking at real quick. Not that big of an inconvenience. Two, because your strat is dog poo poo. Yeah, but most people don't understand that though. If you're trading your strat, you're not gonna know it's dog poo. That's just weird. You wouldn't know that. My strat might be shit for all we know. We don't know. But because we've seen success, even if it is consistently, so I guess it isn't dog poo. um, it's just I don't know. We don't have to do all that jumping around shit. And yeah, to change time frame is totally fine. But like, I don't know. If you have a good strat, it should be applying to all time frames. You could technically do everything I do on every time frame. Yeah, some of your micromanagement levels might be different. Like your scalp levels won't be the exact same as like your daily time frame levels, but you could literally do the same thing if you wanted. Like if you wanted, you could just draw drawdowns at 50% and save yourself some time. It's just not everybody likes to do that. Not everybody likes to just draw it like this or that. But, oh wait, we're trying to choose one more example. My bad, and then I went away. Sorry, brain fart. Um. Oh, this will be a good example. So this was one in the chat that we did really well on. So if you go to JPM, remember how we were saying we got kind of lucky? It was dirty. We cut half here, and then got lucky on the other half. It's like we didn't really stick to our stop loss, so we didn't allow ourselves to be confident. But we did the opposite on this one. We actually allowed ourselves to maintain holding this because we didn't cut it, right? And even though this thing happened right here, we still held. Can you believe that? So 64.65 was about the stop loss. I was kind of looking at halfway point of this, and then when I zoomed out, I was like, you know what? Because it is a long-term setup that might be looking for like a pop into here, because that's kind of what we're looking at. Here, let me zoom this in so you don't see. I like to show it like this because I think it's stupid if I show you like what happened after, like while we're staring at it, because then it's kind of harder to understand. Fuck. There we go. So you see, it's just good higher lows. This is one of those setups where I'm probably not using like a real strat, like the 821 EMAs. Like I doubt I'm looking at these and going, oh, it's holding the 8 and the 8's over the 21. Like, I'm not looking at that. I promise you on this kind of trade. Like, maybe, yeah, that's true in this example, but that's definitely not what I was looking at. What I like is the context, right? We have all these drawdowns. We have this big move. I think this is just longer time frame charts. Whenever I'm lazy, I don't do drawdowns. I'll just go to the monthly and I'll draw emerging candles because it still works really well, and it's just really quick and it's a lazy way of doing things. I probably drew this like really late one night, and then that random day I found that setup and was like, oh wow, I like this, and I'm gonna get in. So this was more or less just like a risky type of swing because it doesn't really follow anything, but it's because I like that after the gap down. Yes, there are still lower highs and stuff, but when we got over here, this didn't feel like a lower high. It felt more like consolidation because of all the up and down retaking and stuff, and not really going down with it. And then after it did go down, there was also a higher low trend to go in with it. Whereas up here, it was just straight up selling, 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 selling. You know. But now there's actually a higher low to start with something, and then I see this. So it's you see how I still gathered like a couple things. It wasn't just, oh, I like it because it looks like it can go up, fill the gap. Like, yeah, that's another thing to like it for. But let's see how it worked out. Next day, okay, absolutely nothing. No daily close under 64.65. So we're not really budging yet. Next day, okay, another boring ass day. Still not budging, but we're definitely annoyed. Oh, third day. Definitely looking a little bit more bearish, but no break of level. Got to stick to our plan. And I promise you, while I'm holding this trade, I almost promise you, I'm sitting here thinking about that JPM trade. Like, man, imagine if I had just done that one right. I'm going to force myself to do this one right, you know? Then this day happens. It's like, what the fuck? You know, this is the new year. This is from December into the new year. You know, it's like, what the fuck? But now I'm getting a lot more confident because the fact that this was so annoying to hold over 4 days and it didn't drop, and then we get a candle like this, I was like, oh my God, I'm floating in heaven, right? And then we started to get some good days. And I just got all out right here because I was honestly just exhausted. The result of that was only 37%. But as you can see, it did really well even after I got out. So we didn't do too well in the second half of that trade. I think we were just exhausted. But we probably should have held that into the high because we still had plenty of time on that. I think that was a January 16th or a February 20th. I can't remember. So as you can see, yeah. So different examples, right? Some of these setups might look the same. Some of them have different outcomes, but it's all about how you manage it and how you stick to your rules or not. Whenever you don't stick to your rules, I think the results become a little bit more crazy and not as fun. Whereas if you stick to the rules a lot of the time, and I'm not even just saying mine, I'm just saying like find your own strat if you want to and try to stick to the rules. Like it really is impossible sometimes. But I do find that your results are the best whenever you stick to them. It's all about the consistency and the methods to get the consistency in the result. But yeah, I'm glad we got to go over that a little bit. But let me know if that was helpful at all. Hopefully, SF, that was a little bit of a clicking moment for you, and we can start to kind of move on from that as well. And we can go over more as well, but I think for now, it's just a little bit good for you to digest on. That was a lot, actually. And then everyone else, I hope you enjoyed that as well. Kind of just working with just SF right now on some stuff, and then, yeah. But happy to also share that in front of everyone else as well. Too high to buy and needs to dip. Where to buy if you buy? Huh? Is this a real person typing or is this a bot? Brother, if you're looking for signals, go somewhere else. I do post plays. I do go over stuff pretty in depth, all that work. But if you're looking for signals, this is not the place for you, brother. If you want to go suck, never mind. I was about to say some really bad shit. My traders like to make their own decisions. They don't like to suck on the tits of others and not learn a damn thing on their own. If that's what you're here for, Michael, please leave. If that is not what you're here for, then please stay. Or do whatever you want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was a lot of talking, SF, but honestly, it was worth. You're trying to understand what I was saying? Okay, all good then. I'm just. Your messages aren't making any sense, so that's what it looked like you were trying to ask. So that's why I said that. Where to buy if you buy? Like that literally sounds like you're asking for a signal. But go back in the stream too, Michael. I think you'll also find just don't just jump into the middle of my conversation. Is what I'm trying to get at. Go to the beginning and listen, and you'll understand. Oh, okay, now I see what he's saying. I think if you just heard that tail end part of it, you'll be like, "What the fuck is going on?" I think it'd be easy to get confused on that, as it would anyone. I'm not repeating it though. That was a lot. It's pretty easy just to click something. All right, my bad, Data J. I didn't get to read what some of your messages said. I'm trying to breathe. I think another variable is instrument. You may have good strategy, but you are losing because you are trading $2 same days. Oh yeah, like $2 out same days and shit. Yeah, it's like 2 cent same days. That's what you're saying. Yeah, like super out of the money, super dog shit contracts. Yeah, it's like that's why when you see me do a same day, if it's not the very next at the money contract or that one right after it, you're pretty much not touching it. You know, if I'm not touching those, I don't want it because it's like I know I'm playing with fire. I could win a trade and make $16. Yeah, it's like who the fuck wants to do that? Some people won't type it like that though. They'll be like, I didn't make $16. I made 280%. What do you mean? So it's like really easy to fuck people over. That's just how people think though. I think that's so scummy. You can see I type out both because I think it's cool. I think you should focus on the percentage so you don't get so caught up on the result of everything and you mainly focus on the method. But you can't ignore it. We go back to SPY. My bad. Oh, nice. Everything's been going up. Well, I didn't get to get in on the second play. That sucks. All good though. So I'm trying to get a screenshot of this. Wait, Odin, really? I think I basically took the same play as y'all, but on MNQ. I got in at blue line. I like the strength we had past previous day control point. I entered on slight pullback / bullish retest. Okay, so he liked once it pushed over previous day control point, consolidated, he liked it for more. Oh, wait, this is the perfect moment to use that. Oh, wait, I just fucked up again. Man. I was looking at Levi because I was an upgrade to a buy. Okay, dude. I don't want to hear about that. I don't care about analyst upgrades, downgrades. I don't care about earnings. I don't trade that stuff. You've noticed earning has been beating. That's why you never get any credit being a great. Oh, that's why never getting any credit being a great brand. I see. Because they're too stable, not volatile enough. Yeah, I mean that makes sense actually. I feel like that makes sense at least. Yeah, when it comes to like taking trades though, taking plays, I really don't care about earnings. I don't care about analyst upgrades or downgrades. I'm not like trying to demean your point. Your point still is good. But like I just feel like it's just noise. You know what I mean? Not demeaning your point. Your point was still a really good point. Let's see what the gap would look like on SBUX today. Oh my god, pretty clean. Bro, do y'all see what this man Kevo is doing? We're like glazing each other because he's just kicked out some gold from his last week's swing into today. It's like, I'm not even going to tell you the percentage. It's just absolutely nuts. Then I had some very small percentages in comparison to his. But we're basically just glazing each other and shit. And then look what he shared. He's in the DMV. Very cool, though. And see, I don't like to go onto Twitter and tweet about stuff like that because that'll just bring some really big, dumb people in our chat. But man, can we get some emojis on that post? That's pretty cool. Kevo's one of those guys that's been here for a long time, too. You know, it's not like he's an overnight success. Like, he's been here a long time. He's worked his ass off for those kind of things. Very cool. Sold Velo today, posted in results. I thought I saw your name in there. Let's see. Oh, this was the... That was this thing. Yeah, I remember you talking about this. In his channel, he posted this, too biased. Some small buys and sells, but the big ones. 450 shares initial positions, sold 200, bought them back, took another 50, wrote it up, sold it all. 15 to 18% on the port and realized gains. And he did all of this in his channel. And he did some of it, I think he did on that free like app that free website he was teaching or showing you guys that you can like do for free, where you can copy his positions. Bro, Tobias, you're actually nuts. I don't like to bother you in the middle of your trades. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong channel. I don't like to bother you in the middle of your trades, but I was watching this one and I was like, holy shit, this thing just keeps skyrocketing. And I'm not joking you. I've been checking your channel every day to see when the hell you would sell. Because I was like, when is he getting out of some of this? I must have missed this one. I must have missed some of your updates, but will it go to 50? Maybe, but I am less comfortable in the stock after a clear re-rating. So often I missed the second big pump, but I learned to live with that fact because sometimes they go to dog shit quick, and now I can book another 2 vacations this year. Okay. Damn, so one of you guys has a second car, paid 2 cars off, then you go into this channel, and bro said, book another 2 vacations this year. What are we doing? What are we doing with our lives, guys? And remember, guys, if you're someone in here who's struggling, please don't get jealous or look at shit like that and look at it in a negative light. Be happy for some of these guys. People like Kevo and Tobias have been doing this for years. So it's not like they just woke up one day and were like, I just feel like making tons of money. Like, no, they worked for it. So it's honestly, from my point of view, it's super cool to see. In a world where people just love to come in here and be toxic and shit sometimes just because they think it's funny. On the other side of things, we have this. So I think this is definitely a bigger payoff. And Kevo's still going off in the trade floor. But yeah, good shit, Tobias. What's up, Cutie Pie? Those were some banger set. Dude, I said that in my stream, actually. I said me and people played Battlefield 6 earlier this weekend. And we were just kicking at it. I said it didn't matter if one of us had 130 ping and the other had 20 ping. It just didn't matter. Couldn't contain us. And we also lose publicly. I got hammered. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. We also lose plenty of trades publicly. All of us have posted them. But yeah, Tobias and his channel as well. Plenty of losses. This dude sucks. I couldn't even begin to tell you guys how bad this guy is. Is that good, Tobias? I got hammered in April, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not always up. But I'm happy to see everybody's kicking ass right now. Can't wait for TSMC to go up with the financial news drop on Thursday. What kind of news? Oh. There's a lot of financial news updates actually this week. You have the beginning of earnings season with financials this week, like banks and everything reports, and then you have all the data coming out this week. Plus, we have that looming news of Trump versus the Fed. There's a lot of shit going on right now. Yeah, it is BS. I said it a long time ago. I was like, if he ever tries this, the news feeds are just going to get so annoying. And here we are, trying it. And was I right? Yes, I was. The news feeds are mad annoying right now. Every day, we're just sitting here waiting for more news. It's very toxic. That investigation should have been kept secret? No, 100% it should have. Everything should have been secret except the end game, the outcome, the result. The only thing that should have been public was the result. But it's out the window now. No, exactly, Tobias. There's too much shit going on for anyone to be 100% long in anything right now. We're probably still way more bullish than we are bearish right now, but we're starting to feel, okay, there's some tensions. But if you remind ourselves, too, guys, if you guys remember, though, we are near a resistance/target area right now. So it could also just be perfect fucking timing. Here, I'll zoom in more. I like to highlight this because we really kicked ass because of this. I'm really proud of that. But yeah, that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. These levels. And last week, if you guys don't remember, we really are kind of deciding direction from this area right now. And it's the old all-time high supply. This is where all-time high was. If you go to the high to the open of that green candle, that's what you get. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Since then, we bound, and remember too, back then, even before this area, we were using this for direction. It perfectly toe tapped that and just ran up again, 50% of that range or of the move there, the drawdown, to hold it and bounce again. Bullish kicker right there. Continuation into a reset candle, a clear candle holding the area. So we should still be bullish. See another lower lower open today. Sorry. So this looks a little awkward because we have an open here, and then we went up and closed. And then today we opened way the F down here, and now we're here again. You know, so that's why it looks a little weird because it's 2 green candles. But that lower open is everything today. That could have been make or break. We were breaking 689.70 today. We'd probably be seeing 687 or lower right now. But we hold it, so trend's still intact. But this is kind of what we're looking at right now, guys. It's not. I mean, it's not just the Trump administration, though, man. It's like everything here. That's why I don't take sides in politics in America, because there really are the two of the same, like 2 sides of the exact same coin. Not to get too political, but it's just they're both the problem. Bro, it's crazy too, because Jerome Powell called that shit so early. He knew, dude. He knew as soon as Biden or as soon as Kamala lost. He knew, dude. He's like, man, if I don't play ball with Trump, he's gonna try to remove me. Which isn't directly possible, but it is indirectly possible. But yeah, it's all just a mess. That's why, honestly, with my trading and my strategy, we don't rely at all on news. Do I post the news for the week so my chat can be aware? Is there a news channel? Yes, but that's just for being aware. If somebody does care about that shit. But in all honesty, you guys don't need to be looking at news. I would definitely pay attention to when earnings reports are, though. So if you are swinging stocks, you aren't getting completely effed. And if you are swinging more times than not, you probably should still be aware of the overall news on the market. But you gotta find ways to make it not affect you. Because, excuse me, sorry, I didn't sleep much. News is just really bad. Not just from a point of like, oh, it'll make the stock gap up and down. You gotta think about the other side too. Your mental. You know, if you're sitting there and all you're thinking about is news this and news that, you're gonna have a bias. If you're constantly thinking about bad things, you're gonna have fear. You're gonna be bearish more times than not. You're gonna miss out on all the dip buys. Then you're gonna get pissed at yourself. Then you're gonna chase. Then the lower high is gonna happen. Then it's gonna pull down. You know, then you're just fucking yourself left and right. Just because you're a step too late. But what no one's taking into account is the next new Fed chair. Oh no, it's just not taken into account yet. Do you think the market's gonna go up because of this? It's gonna go down when it finally happens, and it's gonna go down in a very bad amount. When the next Fed chair happens, we're gapping down big time. Like you said, max pain. But the market's gonna set us up for failure, bro. Big money ain't stupid. They're gonna prop us up. Therefore, if or when that news ever comes out, there is a large, valuable gap down ready to go, with plenty of buyers to completely fuck themselves. They will not accept Banana Republic. Yeah. Does anybody still need to look at this for another second? You guys good? Can I move on from this one? Give me a thumbs up if you guys are still in here. Let me know who's all awake still. And let me know, guys, what just ended 8 minutes ago? What just ended 8 minutes ago? 9 minutes ago? All good? But I like to leave it up a little bit just because, you know, I don't know. It's a very nice looking chart. Looks good. You could even just straight up trade these levels if you wanted, but I like to show off the other side as well so people don't have to think they're just stuck using larger time frame levels. Like today, honestly, your level should have been pretty easy. Even if you didn't copy mine, the gap fib is the easiest thing you could draw. Also, I think the easiest days are when we have a day on our left and we gap down. Therefore, you have the previous day control point to worry about, and then you have the gap down to worry about. So in some instances, we get a 10-cent range, but in other ones, we're going to get like a 50-cent range. And next thing you know, that would have helped us for the rest of the day. For direction, again, to help us with direction. And yes, good answers, guys. Phase 1 of the day, first phase of the day. No, first phase of the day ends at 10:30 my time, Ace. It's the first 2 hours of the day. One more sec. Unless you're talking about something else. I don't want to put words in your mouth, bruh. Oh, Carter posted. All right, we got a contract. I got context. Got more context. Waited for some sort of retest. Entry off of the second. 1 minute hammer holding the 693s. Stop loss was a close under the 5 minute of the 693 / breakage. Fuck yes. See, setting a condition for himself here. Make sure you guys are taking notes. Setting a condition for himself. He gave himself context to be bullish. Gave himself context on what would he do if he was wrong, and how would he determine that. We tested those lows, but never closed under. Second 5 minute hold this area created some more confidence. Yeah, because after you see, he's like, oh damn, well they're not even breaking my stop loss. They're holding it with good bullish candles. That's good. That's good confidence building. We then printed a 30-minute outside bar, fib on screen. We broke high of day / previous day close. Jesus, I'm tired. I used the extension level / 694.50s as my target, 25%. Let's see this. Oh, whoops. So that's the 1. This is the 5. Damn, he answered like right after we did. I think I answered a little too early now that I'm looking at his chart. Damn, we had like the same entry then. Let's see where this exit was in your 5. Damn, you did really good at. Oh, that's why you got a smaller percentage. Because you have a pricier contract. Okay, this is making more sense now. I was like, wait, what? Okay, there we go. Damn, I think I'm just more proud. Like, your chart's really nice. I'm really proud of what you typed here. Like, I really, I mean, it's like everything I talk about and more. Like, everything I drive home a million times in these streams. Like, if this was all I got for all my hard work, it would still be worth it. Because, like, holy fuck. Imagine if everybody in chat talked like this. I really, really like this. Right here. This whole first sentence is just like golden as fuck. Right? Contract. Okay, cool. Spy had a strong. Really, not even that part. It's really like this. I mean, that's if this is not like the epitome of everything I talk about in these streams every single day. I don't know what is. You know, I would say this right here is the epitome of everything. Spy had a strong open, which took the overnight gap 50% and previous day control point. Like, what more could this man even type? That was insane. That's it right there. That's all the context you needed. And then it's like micromanaging context. It's like, all right, now I need to retest from that so I can actually, get a piece of that. Looks for the second retest. Talks about the 1 minute hammer holding the 693 down here. Talked about his stop loss, not just talking about if the trade works out, in euphoric moments of, oh my God, I can't wait for it to go up and make money. He talks about what would be a good stop loss. He said the 5 minute candle under, so under this, the basing here, because he likes that it came up and it's holding around that area where those key levels are. And then saw that it never closed under. Some people would just be like, oh, thank God, I'm such a loser, and I thought I was going to lose. Oh, having like a sigh of relief because they're not actually trading. They're just gambling and hoping and playing with emotions. But what did he take away from that not breaking? Oh, I didn't. My ass is saved. No, he's looking at this and he's going, wow, I'm even more confident now. It didn't break. Nice. Good information. It's like anti-information. It's like the opposite. Like the missing of information is still information. It's like the fog of war. We then printed a 30-minute outside. It's just like, man, this whole post is just beautiful. That was really nice. Kevo's still calling out on the trade floor. Good shit, guys. Man, Carter. If he's in stream, seriously, round of applause to Carter. I know, and I've said it earlier. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Like I feel like I'm saying his name a lot when I'm saying, dude, 10 out of 10, dude, really good trade, dude. Oh my God, we can all learn from this. Like I'm constantly saying Carter's name, on these all super impactful posts. What more could we want from that man? And honestly, it really does like make all the trolls and the hate and the toxic shit like all worth it. When you see someone like that, it's like, damn, one person just recreated everything I put all my energy into, all on their own, without my help. Now it's theirs. That's Carter's system now. That's just sick. I'm not gonna lie. It's really cool. And it's funny too, because like so many chats would be like, all right, this is the perfect time. Let's screenshot everything he's done and let's go promote it online and let's make ourselves look so cool and good and stuff. It's like I don't even want to do that. I just want to keep working on all the people that are here and keep working with them, and hopefully they work with other people, and as they get better, they help the people under them, and just, each one teach one type energy. But just, I don't know. I think that's the coolest shit ever. Thank you, Joe, for going in there and saying that. Saying even just that, thank you, man. Like, you have no idea how much that could mean to him or me. Or anyone. That little bit of reinforcement is everything. It's crazy how that works. Oh, man. I'm like tired, but like not tired at the same time. It's weird. I think it's my head. Don't stay up late, man. That's not a good choice. Because if you stay up late, you still got to get up at the same damn time. And then you're going to be tired. Yawning like me. Also, self-promotion here, finally. Haven't done it once today. Here we go, guys. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. Share the stream link around. At the top of the stream, there's actually a link you can click. It's to join the YouTube channel if you'd like. You don't have to. It's just to support the channel. But I don't plan on paywalling anything, so you guys should be fine if you don't want to sign up. Totally fine on that end. If you want to join the Discord, just ask for the link. I actually included a intro video finally. Check this out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Also, I found the option to change these badges, but I don't know what I would change them to. So if someone has a cool idea, feel free to... Oh, you can pause it from there too. That's cool. Feel free to give me ideas for badges, but I think we should just stick to the stars now that we're already here. Because most of you have like orange and yellow. Like a lot of you have orange and yellow, which is pretty crazy. I don't know what we're going to do when someone gets to purple. But yeah, make sure to check all that stuff out. Glue stick. Huh? Your idea is a glue stick? I'm not gonna lie, you kind of made me second guess my join page thing for a second. I just reopened it again because we used to have a glue stick emoji. It stood for detouch because detouch is like the glue to our group. It just connects so many of us. And whenever I'm not here, that would probably be the person I put in charge. Would be detouch. Not like I'd actually put someone in charge, but like, you know what I mean? If I had to, that's probably who I'd choose. Him or Leland. So we used to have a glue stick emoji for the chat, but I took it down because it honestly looked like shit. Like, you couldn't even tell what it was. But it was up there for a while. Glue stick? You'd have to show me an image of like what you mean though for that. Because I'd have to include like 12 images basically, like 10 to 12 images. So I'd either want them to be the same thing and change colors over time, or all different images, like as you level up. So I could change those images to like a BB logo. I could change it to a candlestick. I could change it to whatever the fuck you want. I don't think anyone actually cares. So I've never actually asked. Like, I doubt any person in this stream has ever been like, man, I wish I could change what my badge looks like. I don't think people care. But the option is there if someone wants to throw out a really cool idea. You wish you had a badge? Yeah, I wish you did too. But hey, that's how the wealthy stay wealthy. They don't ever spend nothing, you know? It's Ace's motto. You know, I don't want your money anyway. I don't want you to have a badge. I've thought about it in the past. I'm like, man, that'd be cool if Ace signed up just to like show other people he's in here supporting. But now I don't even want you to sign up. To be honest, I don't want your dirty money. I don't know where it's been, where it came from, how you got it. I don't want it. Bro's probably committed crimes on so many levels. It's not even funny. All he does is troll me and make fun of me and shit when he comes in here. Like, who wants that guy, you know? Totally not crying on the inside right now. Mm, 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 mm. I hate you, Data J. That's the message I come back to read. That's funny. When Spy is making new high day, it tends to keep making them. The data says, Jim, can I take things that always happen for 500? I don't know who Jim is. I don't know why I said that. The BB strategy, like BB theory, but put it in a like that kind of game. What is that called? Why am I so stupid at not getting the name right? I've even watched videos of it. Why can't I think of the name? Jeopardy. There you go. I've literally seen people make their own Jeopardy videos, and I still couldn't think of the damn name. Dude, that's what we should do. Oh my god, that would be such a pain in the ass to make, but oh my god, that'd be so cool if we got it to work right. A Jeopardy game, but BB theory stuff. Keith walks in as number 1 contestant. Data J, number 2 contestant. Joe Trader comes in, number 3 contestant. All right, real message here. In the second session, so in the session we are about to enter in 40 seconds, if Spy makes a new high of day, 80 to 85% of the time it will go higher in a future 30-minute candle. Ladies and gentlemen, Data J has spoken. Yeah, what is current day open for? What is workshop 11 for, or workshop 10 or 11 or I don't know. You got me all fucked up with the numbers now. What does PDCP stand for? What is the previous day control point? Correct, sir. You have just won Jeopardy. Okay, someone smarter than me needs to make the Jeopardy board for BB Theory. I think I want to do this just to be the caster. Ace, you just won a brand new car. No, you're good. I figured you were. I want him to answer anyway. I just want to win your BB course. Shut up, bro. Is this guy even in the BB course server? You probably are, you little smartass. Actually, you might not be. Wait, what's your name on Discord? Ace Ventura. Oh, you are in there. What you mean, dog? This the core server. This your name, isn't it? This is your wallet, right? It's not my wallet. Spy Daily is still inside bar, which only happens about 10%. Data J, let me know when you see Garden Traders question. In the YouTube chat, of course. I'll let you answer that one. Because personally, to me, because he says in the second session, if SPY makes new high of day. So in the second session that's coming up, if there's a new high of day made, he's saying on the 30-minute time frame, there's an 80 to 85% chance that we will see a new high of day. And he's using the 30-minute because that's the intervals that he's using to get his data. I'm sure he could get it even further out for the 5 we want a minute, but 30 is probably just more accurate. But I'll let him answer as well, but that's just how I interpreted it. He was telling us right before it started because he probably just wanted us to be preemptive about the information. Because it's probably really stupid if he comes in here at like the end of the second session. He's like, all right, guys, watch out. New highs. I told you all. Like, so he's probably wanting to tell us beforehand. Be a little preemptive without being a jackass, which is very appreciated. You had 10 ads? How are you getting ads? And how do I get paid for those? I really don't know. Full porting. Oh my god, it reset the setting again. Okay, I actually know about that because I haven't been touching it. I don't like touching my settings because then I have to go back and touch them again. All right, there should be 0 more after that then. Let me know if you guys get any more, but you shouldn't be getting any more. You get ads too, but I don't have YouTube Premium. Every 15 to 20 minutes? What the fuck? All right, well, you shouldn't be getting any more. And yeah, if you don't have YouTube Premium, you're still going to get some, but you're not going to get as many. Now, you'll get less. Way less. I need to call up fucking YouTube support and be like, yo, communists, quit. Y'all don't get to run ads. Y'all don't take care of your platform enough. You don't get to run ads every 15, 20 minutes, YouTube. Your platform isn't even as good as Twitch. Which is sad, by the way. Very sad. YouTube should be king of streaming. Twitch has the worst guidelines in the world, and it's still better at streaming. Because people would rather stream on a worse platform that has better accessibility and better options and better customization than on a platform that would suit them better, but not be as great. You know, their chat couldn't do as much. Like you guys. Like on Twitch, you could type commands. There's all kinds of cool things you can type in chat, and things will pop up for you. Like if you're like, oh, what charter setting has he got on, or what chart is this? You can pull up that information live without even asking me. There's all kind of integrations that YouTube streaming doesn't have. That's pretty insane because they're all on literally every other platform, and it's not some like hard milestone to get for them to do this. It's literally just money, and they have every bit of it. I don't know why they don't use it. And me personally, I don't even care that YouTube is woke. I really don't, because I love YouTube. I think YouTube's the best platform. But I wish they would integrate a lot more. There's so much more integration that could be on this platform. It's like Netflix. Like I fucking love. I wish Netflix could monopolize. I wish they would just buy everything, so we would all just pay for one thing. Yeah, you can play marbles on Twitch, Ace. That's literally where it's for. That's what it's for. Like for marbles, if we were in chat, I would be like, all right, guys, I'm pressing play. Type this command. You guys would click like plus join or this or that or whatever command I put. And you could literally select what games you join in on for the marbles games. And that marbles is the fucking tip of the iceberg, bro. You don't understand. Like marbles is baby shit. Y'all don't understand how many other games you guys could be playing on stream while we're doing all this other shit on Twitch. And I've honestly waited years for it to just somewhat happen on here, but it hasn't happened a bit. And I don't think it ever will. But I like YouTube a lot more. Even though I just sat there and bitched about it for 10 minutes. I'll post the chart in the Discord. It shows how often in the past when SPY makes an intraday new high a day at a certain time, how often it went even higher in a future 30-minute candle. When you making the switch to Twitch, I'd sub because I have Prime. Shut up, bro. This mother. Actually, that is a good point too. There's also Prime on there. But I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a give or take. I don't know if like I don't want to stream on both, and I don't want to ditch my YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna stay on YouTube and stream. It's just where I'm at. Someone would have to give me like a check to be like, yo, go to Twitch. I'd have to download Restream and stuff, and it can be a problem because sometimes it'll be a little buggy because it's not the greatest right now. But yeah, it's also just hard to run both platforms. And yeah, Data J is the best. I agree. He's one of the best. That's for damn sure. Dude, this 30 minutes scary, Data J. Everything just looks super bullish on this time frame. How much you want? You need a second guy to stream with you? I volunteer as tribute. Ace would never stream with me, man. He'd probably do it like for the first week and then he'd like ditch. He'd be like, nah, you're right, the same for me. He'd be like, Bither, why do you do this? I volunteer as tribute. That's one of the best memes. Bro, how long has it been since we've seen Hunger Games I haven't seen those movies in forever. But I don't know, Ace. I don't even know if you're asking me seriously or not, but I don't know. You're probably just fucking with me. Another chart that looks pretty good. Damn, Walmart. XLP did bounce. This is when I started telling people that I am bullish on staples, was this candle. It was a little awkward at first, and I didn't touch any plays on this, but it's something I like to use outside because whenever your tech chart is bouncing or indecisive, normally this chart starts bouncing, but it doesn't seem to matter because this one's bouncing and this one's bouncing. So I think it further adds on to the indecision. You're not messing with me. If I had a second guy to stream with me, I don't know who it'd be because I don't trust anyone. How much? $10,000. I'll move to Twitch right now. $8,000. I'll move to Twitch right now. Give me 6 to 7 months of YouTube money, and I'll move to Twitch right now. Because I have to take time to rebuild that shit up, and you have to also allow me to let my YouTube to die. Because if we're not going to stream on it, it's going to die. And if I was to stream on both, I think I'd have to upgrade my internet. Which they're still adding fiber to my area. I still don't have fiber. So if you wanted serious answers, there's your serious answers. Things I'm not going to get, so I'm just going to be on YouTube. I don't feel like rebuilding another platform from scratch. $10 a.m. is 83. Whoops. Ace Ventura, always with these questions, man. That is a good question, though. I don't think it's the exact opposite. I think Data J's about to show you. Actually, I think it's even more one-sided when it's new low of days, but it's not over a longer period of time like it is for buyers. I would love for that to be right. Data J, Data J, Data J. Come on down. He said he'll post it in a sec, Ace. Be patient. Fuck. There you go, Ace. God. Quit your whining. God, I almost closed Thinkorswim. That would have been fucking awesome. There you go, Ace. It's in the Discord and it's on the stream for you. If you have questions, tag the man. The man, the myth, the legend. Data J. This is based on data between 2018 and 2025. All full trading days on SPY. None of that bullshit. So, pretty good range of data. Good shit, Data J. Actually, let me pin that again. Or is it already pinned? I need to clean up the pins anyway. I don't think I can clean another pin up, can I? Oh, we did have pins. Nice. But I pinned the bottom one, but if you just, I don't need to pin both. You could just see that and then scroll up when you click on it. And it'll save us a pin. How long did it take to backtest that data? Yeah, that's a great question. How many hours of sleep did you not get to get this? Actually, knowing Data J, it probably didn't take him that long because he probably scraped something and then he did something really smart and then automated somehow. You probably used AI for something. Who knows, dude? Knowing Data J, it probably didn't take that long. Where other humans ventured and took many years, it took this man probably 5 minutes. Actually, I'll go on the larger end. We'll say 20 minutes. I'll say 20 minutes is my guess. That's why I said, bro, you don't got to be smart. You just got to be around smart people. See, I all I did was come up with a strategy that would like attract smart people, and then I made them do a bunch of stuff with it, and now we have what we have now. He said, "LOL. If I set out to find this, it would take a few hours, and I just use Excel." Okay, well my guess was off. I would have lost that. A little more than 20 minutes. I was doing other stuff and then used this data to find this, and I found it interesting. Fucking nerd. I mean, yeah, good work, man. This has saved you a lot of boredom trades. Oh, because you know the windows of like, okay, this is probably why I see price action like this now. Or like you said, testing shit out and just being wrong completely, just because it's like, wait, what am I doing? I think it's just cool because it's not like you need that table to trade the system, but I think it's cool once you learn the system to use that or to check it out and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, see, like for people who have been using the system, I think that's a cool thing to look at. If you're someone who's new, I don't think I'd look at that table yet. But it is a very cool thing to look at because the context it provides, like it kind of makes some of the movement during the day make sense. Like when we're like, man, when there's no movement during the first part of the day, second part of the day, it kind of makes sense that we have those like just run up days. You guys know what I mean. Like when we have those just big drops, they're very quick. They happen between like one or two phases of a day. But then sometimes we have those just bullish days. They do just straight up just go up all day, and they'll have that interchanging, selling in between and stuff. But those 30-minute candles will always like tell a different story. So it's kind of cool when you see the data in his 30-minute intervals because it shows like some of that stuff making sense and why we see some of it the way we see it, right? That's why I said like someone who's probably new should probably doesn't even click on that stuff yet. But someone who's probably been looking at stuff for years and could probably actually take advantage of that and make sense of some of the movement they see. Because we make sense of a lot of it, like with the phases of the day and splitting stuff up and like, kind of telling the story of the chart from open to like wherever you are at that point. But I think that data is cool. More that I do that, more that I do this when I have trading time, but shouldn't be trading. Oh, okay, I see. Making yourself busy. I don't even know what I could tell you to do to make yourself busy, though. To be honest, I don't even know what else you could do. Also, did y'all see Wooch's like tracker updates? I thought that was very cool. He's really kicking ass on that. Always have to be careful with this data. Last Wednesday, we made new high of day at noon or 12 p.m., which showed 85% chance of making new high. It never happened. Uh, yeah, I mean, you can't rely on it. That's for sure. I think more or less what I was taking away from it is like how like I think we already talked about it last week, but how like the percentages drop off after a certain time, and it's like okay, kind of tells you like the phases of the day logic kind of makes sense. Like okay, a lot of good trading in the first phase, some semi decent in the second phase, which kind of lowers the percentages of like the third part being the greatest. It's not going to be the best, but we don't get a lot of movement in the first two parts of the day. I don't see why the third part couldn't be the best part of the day. It's like kind of plays both ways. That's why I said even no information is information. Oh, we just consolidated? Boring. I got nothing out of that. That's what a dummy would say. Someone who sees that is going to be like, oh, wow, this is really awesome. Like, even though I couldn't trade this, even though this is pretty boring, even though it's doing nothing, this is still telling me something based on what it's holding or what it's under or what it's over, whatever it's looking at. What are the candlesticks on certain time frames? All right, guys, I'm not going to do a full day stream today. I'm sorry. We did that last week. We're not doing it this Monday. I think I'm going to end it here in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Feel free to jump out and throw out whatever questions or comments you have. I honestly didn't even see that it was 11:30. It's been 3 hours. It's pretty insane. We honestly covered a lot today. We do this every Monday and Tuesday. Like the Monday Tuesday streams always have like just a shit ton of talking in it. So I do hopefully I do hope a lot of you guys go back into the stream and check out like the first hour. The first hour was honestly fucking insane. Called out some stuff. Got to go over some other stuff. Oh, look, there's SF. Oh, so it does show messages in real time when you're doing replay. Huh. But yeah, I really do hope some of you guys go back into the stream and check some of this stuff out because I think today's info is cool. Also, in the middle of it, if you wait till later on in the stream, actually, I clicked right to it. Look at that. Me and SF, Aloha, I call her. We're going over kind of in a one-on-one, but I wanted to do it in the live stream just because I don't know. I don't see the point in just hiding it. You know, I want to cover this in front of everybody so we can all get something out of it. And yeah, I hope you guys get something either out of the scalp stuff. If you don't give a shit, you want to go learn about the swing trading stuff, I hope you check out some of that as well. I mean, I went very in depth in today's stream. I think today's stream could literally just be a big workshop video. If you cut out like all those silent parts and the parts where I'm probably just reading something. But yeah, so like stretching and breathing out at the same time. But yeah, I hope you guys are here tomorrow. If not, cool. Drop a like on the stream. Share the stream link around. At the top here is that YouTube link I was telling you about. And yeah. Take your time to go through this stuff if you guys can. I would say another playlist too. That's pretty next level is definitely the BB3 playlist. If you own the course, if you're a member to any level, it doesn't matter what membership you have access to this. The only people that don't have this are people who literally are just free everything. This is the only paid walled thing I really have nowadays is BB3 playlist. So, yeah, check that out if you don't have access or if you have access to it. If you don't have access to it, get access to it. But yeah, see you guys later on. Thank you guys again. Doesn't look like we have any questions or anything. Thank you guys again. Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, SF. Thank you, Data J. Garden said thank you for the stream today. 30-minute IB getting ready to close. I see that. Still calling out inside bars. You guys are legends. You and Letterbuck. But yeah, thank you guys again. Tune into the Discord if you want to still be around and share your thoughts and stuff in the chat. Please, dear God, keep it like organized to some extent. It's not like there's a million people messaging, so don't feel too bad, but just wherever you want to post whatever you're looking at, feel free to engage, throw it out in there. And I'll see you guys later on. Thank you guys again. And yeah, love you all.